Hello everyone! Almost forgot about this game, or to be honest I did. I was in the gym, and then I was getting ready to make dinner, and then I got pinged, and I was like, you know what, I can come do this. Hopefully they actually expect me for round 1. It is going to be DECOY versus RAZIN. Let's see what we got going on. I am spectator now. Should be a fun couple of matches. DECOY versus RAZIN. Sorry guys, I'm trying to collect my thoughts right now while I'm doing this stuff. Gonna be out of it for a second while I do this shit. Give me 1 second. I swear when the match starts, I'll be on top of it. I am just running stuff. I will get over it. I'm just posting stuff, places, streams, events. Okay. Hello everybody. Welcome to DECOY versus RAZIN Calamity League. Let's see what we got going on here. Alright, so to get things started, Proc, round 1. This was... whose map pick was this? This is going to be... This is RAZIN's map pick. See what they got to go. Round 1. Switch to a different song. That song's a bit too upbeat. Let's get it. Decoy running double Mark 6, double IS-7, double Batchat, and we're rounding it out with the Turan. Surprise there. Turan has been the one tank I've seen picked every single game. Don't blame the teams, because that thing is just better, to be honest with you. Over on the other side, Chieftain, T95, double, triple machine, IS-7. Be quite interesting to see what their plans are with the machine here. Honestly, the machine's kind of fallen out of favor in the competitive scene. It's still a pretty decent tank in certain situations, but with every tank having such good accuracy, there really hasn't been a place for it. Going to be quite interesting to see how Decoy plans to attack here. Mr. Mark 6, Mega Delicioso, and getting spotted by the T100LT. Will he get clipped out by the machines? This could be bad for Mr. Mega, depending on how much these machines want to peek. Turan's going to have shots for free. All machines looking at Mr. Airstorm here. RAZIN playing very cautiously. All it's going to take is Airstorm to go over that ridge one time and full spot the entirety of Decoy's lineup. Push has been made to go over into the bowl. Mega Delicioso getting a shot into one of the Chieftains. And the YOLO has commences. Yep, there we go. Down HP. Batchat starting to mag dump. Flame AJ is going to be the first one to go. He's very high on that ridge, and he is dead. Mega Delicioso still not down any hit points here. Bounce. RAZIN has traded out a lot of hit points to get these two kills. Get this one kill, sorry. Decoy now being up 6,000 hit points at this point. Mr. Fabio going to be the next one out of the ape, but he is going to be able to take down Twin Leahy as his next shot. I think he is the one-shot machine. Twin Leahy still being on 69 hit points. We'll see if Fabio takes him out of the game or not. Nope, Super Delicioso gets the kill. Jackal Boy in on RAZIN, and it is just a slaughter in Decoy's favor here. I mean, machines don't have the best armor, right? I understand what they were trying to do there with the machines, get over the ridge, get a kill off, but it just didn't work out. All of Decoy's players are in a position to support that heavy tank. They made a big misplay there, RAZIN did. First of all, Decoy played that perfectly. Did everything correct. Decoy had crossfire set up, so that was a doomed RAZIN push from the start. RAZIN needed to push up and kill that Mark 6 as he was coming up, and maybe they would have had a shot at winning, but with Decoy's positions, it was going to be all over. I mean, Airstorm in the Batchat, able to mag dump twice, 3,400 damage, and then dip in the Chieftain, 2,900. And then IS-7, Delicio, I mean, 2,000, 2,000, 1,300, and both these guys just kind of unable to get into the fight, but it didn't really matter because their team did so much damage. Over on RAZIN's side, I mean, machines doing one shot worth of damage, not exactly optimal. Chieftain dropping a donut. He was the first tank to get focused out. Am I surprised? Not really. Definitely was Decoy there with the more meta setup. And on top of that, RAZIN tried to push there on attack or defense for some reason. They really could have chilled out there and just waited. The machine, I just think the problem was the machines. Machines are just not okay, and they were running 3 of them. It really limits their potential because machines can't really push that well. Push over open field, I should say. Machines can push into town and make maneuvers like that kind of sort of stuff if they have cover. But pushing on proc, no matter which way you push, you're going to be pushing over open ground. Machines are basically free pens. They don't really have the armor or hit points to withstand an onslaught, especially from what Decoy had in the back. So it was doomed from the beginning. Going on to round 2 here. Let's see what we got going on. Both teams ready to rock and roll. Again, both teams running a Turan. Surprise there. Decoy electing to run Batchat, Mark 6, double IS-7. Pretty meta. Over on RAZIN's side, you have double or triple Valor, double Batchat, T100LT. Both these loadouts are pretty good. Decoy is defending this time, so I am going to give the edge for this game in Decoy's favor, just because they're on the defensive side. That's it. Happy to see that machines are now out of there, no longer existing. Very good. Definitely a better lineup for RAZIN this game. We'll see what they can do with the Triple Valor, Double Bat. LT Turan should be quite interesting here. This was RAZIN's map pick, by the way, just so you guys know. Crawdad 454 going to the middle of the spot here. See if he gets shot for this. He should spot the Mark 6s. Does spot the Mark 6s. Does get spotted in return. No shots come out on him. Airstorm and his Batchat appears to be going for a spot. Airstorm is going to... I don't know what RAZIN's doing here. Bit of a bold strategy. Unsure how this one's going to play out. I don't know if RAZIN realizes they're attacking or not. I think they want Decoy to push up and over, but Decoy's defending. They're not going to do that. And now that they're rotating out here, it's too little too late, I think. Decoy's going to have... They already have a lot of map position. Turan's already rotating over to cover the IS-7. The IS-7's sitting A8. He's going to be very hard to dig out. I think RAZIN just threw this game. None of RAZIN's heavy tanks have been spotted yet. Crawdad gets spotted. We'll see if Papa Snowdog and the Turan gets a shot off here. He does not. Cold-Hearted Fool now being the tank to lead the assault. Minus 490 from the IS-7. He's now a one-shot for the Turan. And the Turan misses, but he does get hit by Airstorm and the Batchat. Cold-Hearted Fool now rotating to shoot the cross. Cold-Hearted Fool will be able to shoot Airstorm here if he gets spotted out again. But he is going to have to contend with the Turan being unspotted. If Airstorm does get spotted here, he should get at least shot 3 times by Mr. Cold-Hearted Fool, but I'm unsure if he'll even get spotted at all. Hit points being in Decoy's favor by about 2,000. They started out with more hit points, though, to be fair. Cold-Hearted Fool, for some reason, rotating out of that position. Questionable. They had that position. They really should keep it. There's no reason for that man to rotate out. Definitely a misplay out of RAZIN here, giving up that map position. Regardless or not, if they're wanting to ape with that Batchat, which I think they are, Crawdad is one shot now, by the way. T100T is dead. Decoy is up. Tanks now losing their T100LT, the one tank that can cap rather easily. Mr. Robot Buster is going to be in a crossfire between Fabio and its dip. We'll see if he gets shot here. Decoy just has full map control on the defense. Very little RAZIN's going to be able to do to get out of this. Dip is in a power position in the middle. Fabio's going to be basically impossible to dig out. Gambit's holding the cross. On the other side, you have an IS-7 sitting A8. He's going to be basically impossible to kill. Snowdog's overwatching him, as well as a Batchat flexing around in the middle. Super Conqueror, Super Delicioso is able to rotate middle to cover its dip. And this is going to be a GG for RAZIN, losing proc. Not a whole lot they can do here. They're perma-spotted and going to be perma-shotted here. Trying their best to do what they can. Robot Buster losing 1,000 in the Batchat to the Turan. Surprise there. Not really. Mega Delicioso's fully hauled down. Nothing that can be done to him. It's Dip over peeking to shoot Flame. He can do so for free. Nobody's on hill covering that. Mystic's down our 68. Might have shots, but I think it's going to be too little too late here. Push out of RAZIN coming. Don't know why. They're pushing into a 4-way crossfire. as well as having 2 tanks behind them. Yeah, this is a slaughter in favor of DECOY. So they're not getting blind fired. Mega Delicioso getting another kill. The cap has started, but it's... I mean, they're getting shot from middle. They're getting shot from train tracks. They're about to get shot from hill by Gambit. Twin Leahy down to 1 shot. And he does die. Mega Delicioso in the IS-7 pushing forward. It's now pushing over the 2 remaining tanks out of RAZIN being a batch shot into Turan. Turan losing all of his hit points. This game can be summed up by one word and one word only. That is map control. I don't know if they were trying some unique strat here to sit in the back of the map on proc, but proc is not a map you can do that with. You're hiding all your tanks in one position, right? One square. Proc is such an open map that now whenever you try to rotate out of that position, you're going to be spotted the whole time. Not a whole lot you can do, and there you go. 4 out of the 7 tanks on RAZIN doing 0 damage. Not surprising. I mean, I don't know what they were doing there. Maybe if somebody in chat could type up what you think. Don't know. Over on DECOY side, I mean, Dip doing 3,700 damage, 2,693 assisted. That was his game to shine. Same with the IS-7, Mega Delicioso. I mean, if you let a tank do 4K with almost, 2.5 assisted, you're doing something wrong. Nobody, just map control. That was it. DECOY took full map control from them. If on proc you choose to play one side, you choose to play either right or left of train tracks, either side is playable. However, you have to commit to playing that side, because if you give up that side of the map, if you allow the enemy team to take full control of one side, then partial control of the other, it is most certainly going to result in a loss for that team. So in this instance, you saw DECOY had full control of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line of proc, as well as had control of the IS-7 and A8, okay? There was literally, and I do mean literally, nothing RAZIN could have done. They were cornered in that side of the map, regardless of having heal control of the Turan, regardless of having tanks that were still full HP. They were going into a slaughter, and then the one time where it did look like they were going to take position, with the Batchat going into the corner of C8, they rotated them out. I just think this is a classic, DECOY has been doing this for longer. I know this is the first time I've seen RAZIN play. DECOY is definitely a team that's been cemented, at least for a couple of years now, into the competitive scene. And I think you're seeing the experience here show out for RAZIN. RAZIN being, I think, a newer team. Could be completely off about that. Somebody please correct me if I am. Here we go, though, going into round 3 of this match. DECOY running Triple Chieftain, Batchat, CS63. Could go either way. You could see 2 IS-7s here. You could see more medium tanks. I think either is a good pick. Over on RAZIN's side, Triple Valor electing not to run a single Chieftain Mark 6. I've been seeing this quite a bit. Teams not running the Mark 6. There we go. Mark 6 out of Twin Leahy. I just think the Mark 6 is better than the Valor in most scenarios. Unless you just purely need it for holding a position, I guess the Valor's better, but the Mark 6 has better DPM, very good penetration, it's mobile. I mean, it's a hard case to make for Valor over Mark 6. And here we go, dipping an IS-7, double Chieftain's Batchat, triple Chieftain's Batchat, C63 Turan, pretty good lineup there. Over on RAZIN's side, Chieftain Valor, double Batchat, T100 LT, another Valor, Turan. Again, good lineup over there. I will say it is kind of required for you to run a T100 LT on attack from steps. T100 LT allows you to, first of all, spot out. Secondly, really get into some cap circles. You don't need to run it. It just allows you to, it opens up some abilities for you as the attacking team. We'll see how that T100 LT is used here for round 1 of steps. TNLT leading this charge here for his heavies. I don't think he's going to be able to spot much of anything on this flank. DECOY sending the IS-7 to the dominant position, to be expected. IS-7, we say this every single time we see this map play out. IS-7 at this position here on these two ridges is very expensive to kill. Very difficult to kill. Papa Snowdog on the Turan being behind him, to be expected. Gambit also sitting with that Turan. You have a lot of clip potential on this flank. That IS-7 is going to be very expensive to kill. DECOY not really playing too much to the side. I don't think they think anybody's going to come over here, and rightfully so. Nobody is. It's Dip getting spotted out by Crawdad. Now they know the IS-7's in that position. I wonder how they're going to play this. The mistake here is to push up and over into an IS-7 with everything else unspotted and not doing any more damage. The mistake here would be to push that. Thank you for the follow, Flippian. And Twin Leahy spotted, gets shotted. Say I'm surprised I'm not. Gets shotted again, minus 1,000. Twin Leahy is now 544 hit points, and they have done 0 damage in return. Give up on the push, guys. That's not going to happen how you want it to. Rotate, do something else. Not a whole lot that you can do here. Okay, Mega Delicioso in the Cheetah Mark 6, losing hit points. Papa Snowdog is spotted. They keep missing, though. He is kind of safe down there, and Jacqueline Boy does die there for that peak. Right now, DECOY is up almost, what is that, 5,000 hit points? It's dipped, still full HP. Papa Snowdog spotted again. Nobody's able to get shots. Crawdog playing a very aggressive position, and that LT being on 700 hit points, being a 2-shot for the heavies. Flame AJ and the Valor going in. A bit of a mistake here, I do think. Not a whole lot. Thank you for the follow, Lexic Benzis 07. Means a lot. Papa Snowdog still unspotted back there in the back of the map. IS-7 still doing damage. I mean, it's dipped, still full HP. I cannot stress this enough, teams, how dominant of a position these little two ridges are for the IS-7. Team 100 LT does die there on cap. That goes their chance to cap. DECOY now up. Has over 2 times the amount of hit points that RAZIN does. Digging this IS-7 out is just basically impossible here. Losing another tank out of Twin Leahy. Gambit now pushing in. I mean, this is sharks in bloody water here. Feeding frenzy that's about to happen. Yeah, again, RAZIN just pushing into places they really don't need to. Once that initial chieftain lost that, I think, like 1,300 hit points, they should have given up on that push. It was not worth it after that time. Honestly, once that IS-7 was spotted, they should have rotated the other side of the map, but they were just so set in their ways. Gambit versus Robot Buster. Gambit 450 roll, 416 roll, 404 roll, 46. I think Gambit would have honestly high roll killed that guy right there. That was pretty remarkable rolling out of the batchet there. Would have rolled for like a 2K mag. Hearted Fool does die. Mystic Runner 68, last tank alive in the Turan. Does bounce a shot there. Turan showing you why the log is the greatest thing in World of Tanks. I mean, why not give the Russians a piece of armor on the back that's 220 millimeters thick, as you can see right there. Log just tanking a shot, and it tanks another shot there at the end. Turan is just better. I mean, most heavily armored Russian tank to start at it. And there you go. It's dipped top of the leaderboard. Say you're surprised, you're not. I mean, IS-7 in that position, it's GG. That was just, I just think you're seeing RAZIN is trying their hardest here. DECOY's been doing this for such a long time. They have strats set up. They know what they're doing. It's just not working out in favor on RAZIN. Then RAZIN is being very stubborn with their pushes. So there they lost a lot of hit points on that chieftain. They still tried to push it. They did spot the Turan. And if their shots would have, if it would have been communicated a little better, maybe they can trade out there Papa Snowdog for the hit points they lost, but it didn't end up working out like that. Papa Snowdog wasn't able to get away and stayed alive the whole time. Thank you, everybody, for the follow, by the way. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot, truly does. Over here, I mean, just tanks that are unable to get their guns singing. You know, the top 3 tanks, double batchets, only doing 1,000, unable to pen a mag. Kind of disappointing. Valor 1700, he tried his hardest, and then 200 LT, another Valor, Chieftain, basically 0 damage. It was just a screw push from the start. That flank's very hard to push out unless you have tanks already dug out before then. We're going into round 4 here. Decoy is up 3-0. We'll see if this is going to be a clean sweep, or maybe if this is the start of a comeback for RAZIN. Should be very exciting to see how both teams play here. RAZIN now taking up the defensive on steps. We'll see if they learned anything from Decoy in that position. I mean, RAZIN could just do exactly what Decoy did there and have a pretty dominant stop to that flank, and then all they have to do is worry about B-side, which I think Decoy is going to play B-side anyways. Every single time I've seen Decoy play this map, they have favored heavily that B-side cap. We're rotating the Turan onto that side and then trying to just poke shots at the Turan. That's the one thing the Turan's very good at, as well as most other tank destroyers also, but the Turan is just that much better because it has 950 alpha for some reason. Every single time I've seen Decoy play this map, we'll see if history repeats itself. They've sent the Turan down the JK line, and then they've put him on like JK0, and they've just waited for shots. All that Turan needs is for somebody to make a mistake one time, and they're up 1,000. And then they make a mistake another time, they're up 2,000. So, solid strat. We'll see how they play this game, if it's going to be similar or not. And then over on RAZIN's side, bit of a heavier lineup, that's fine. Definitely can get away with running. You can definitely run full heavy loadout on defense here. Full heavy loadout plus a Turan is definitely something that can be done. We'll see if it will be done. Double Chieftain, double IS-7, Batchat, Turan, other Valor. Pretty meta loadout. That's pretty good. Decoy going on the attack. RAZIN is now defending steps. Let's see what these teams have in store here. Decoy is down hit points this time, starting out with about 400 less. Not too big of a hit point disparity. That's just one shot. And that one shot is due to the fact that Decoy is running a Batchat, and RAZIN's running an IS-7 instead, which they can do. They're on defense, so not a whole lot of stuff that needs to be done here. It does appear that RAZIN is just going to be copying Decoy's strat on this flank. Sending the IS-7 forward, sending the Turan to... that's a mistake if the Turan sits there. Those bushes don't work as well as they think they work. And then on the other side of the map, exactly what we thought was going to happen is happening. Decoy full taking control of the 9-0 line. Turan back there with him. I mean, like I said, this is what I've been seeing out of Decoy the few times I've seen them play this map. And it is exactly that. Very good strategy. I mean, you have a Turan overwatching everybody. Not a whole lot that you can do here. RAZIN electing to send 2 IS-7s to that position, just in case one IS-7 wasn't enough. That, again, can be done. I'll be interested to see... Oh, no, is the other IS-7 just pushing to the corner? Okay, if the other IS-7's pushing to this corner, then there is no reason for Mr. Crawdad 454 to sit here. Crawdad can fall back. You're dedicating 2 heavy tanks to defending this side. A side that I don't think Decoy was going to push into much anyways. Also, it is important to note that this Turan position does not have as nice of shots as this Turan position. So the reason Decoy had the Turan here was exactly that, so the Turan could punish those tanks that overpeak on him. If the Turan is over here, the Turan does not actually have LOS on any of those heavy tanks. He's kind of figuring out. He's backing up over the train tracks now. Also, phenomenal pen out of Super Delicioso there. Takes a shot in return. Where did he pen this IS-7 at? Might have been an upper plate shot or possibly straight through the turret. Nope, just pens him through the upper plate. Very good shooting out of the Chieftain Mark 6 out of Super Delicioso. Does get shot in return, and then Mega Delicioso is behind him. Over on the other flank, exactly what we thought is going to happen has happened. Turan and Airstorm in the bat chat, sitting up on that hill position, waiting for shots. Dip is rotating up to a very dominant position, putting an IS-7 right here. He's very hard to kill. Realistically, he only dies if the enemy sits at E3. That's probably not going to happen. Now he is going to be able to start spotting people. Doesn't get spotted in return. Pretty sure Flame AJ spotted. No, it must have been this Mark 6. I think in a couple seconds you're going to see either cap pressure start out of Decoy or some rotations coming up. Sorry, boys, typing away right now. Hit points very even, but it is important to know that 4 minutes have been wasted. Crawdad and the IS-7 taking another shot. Unsure how he's losing this much hit points, considering he is in an IS-7 in a very strong position. He's pushing for some reason to flash. That's a bit of a mistake. He has no reason to push. He is losing another shot and another shot. These chieftains just working over these IS-7s. Again, unsure why he even pushed. He is now one shot. Bit of a mistake there. No real reason for him to leave that position. He is now dead. Yeah, no reason for him to push. No reason whatsoever. Unsure why that call was made. Now it is just Flash over here by himself. If these two chieftains do want to overpeak on him, the Turan has no way to stop them. And that's exactly what's going to happen right now. Push has been called out. Miss the Delicioso brothers. I don't know if they're brothers. They have the same gamer tag, though. Pushing into an IS-7, and the Turan is nowhere to assist. Decoy has cut them off in the middle also. This IS-7's by himself. Poor guy. And this is going to be another Decoy victory. Making a clean sweep 4-0. Yeah, I know the game's not over yet, but it's going to be very difficult for Decoy to lose this. Flame AJ mag-dumping Fabio, but it's not going to be enough. Dip is already there. Dip might die to all these heavy tanks when they peak. We'll see what the first kill is going to be. Fabio, Turan does die. Fabio's on 900. Yeah, this is just a slaughter. What did we say last game stream? Map control, map control, map control. And it's the same exact thing here. Decoy took map control, Decoy won. Questionable pushes were made out of RAZIN. Some weird plays. Unsure what the thought process was behind some of them. But it did end up with a Decoy clean sweep, winning 4-0. Again, Decoy's been doing this a lot longer. It is to be expected that Decoy would win, and they did. Congratulations to both teams. Thank you guys so much. That should be the end. And I mean, here you go. Papa Snowdog on the Turan, 3,600. Chieftain Mark 6, 3,100. Over here, you have 2 donuts and then an IS-7 only doing 1 shot. These IS-7s played extremely aggressive for really no reason. You could have held them back, Crawdad and Flash. Flash was actually safe. The weird pushes out of Crawdad. Don't know where that came from, but in the end, didn't work out for them. So, again, GG, thank you guys so much for stopping out tonight. I will be on later, don't know what time, and I will see you guys hopefully later. Well, 100% later if you guys stop out, so we'll see what we're doing. Love you guys, kiss kiss. Have a good rest of your night.